Bonjour. Ciao. Konnichiwa. Hi. And welcome to Cooking Around the Globe. The first step to every good meal is washing your hands. The first dish we will be making today are crepes. The word crepe is French for pancake and is derived from the Latin word crispus, meaning curled. Crepes originated in the northwest region of France that lies between the English Channel to the north and the Bay of Biscay to the south. Crepes were originally called galettes, meaning flat cakes. Crepes were originally made out of buckwheat because it thrived in the harsh conditions of the regions of France. Only during the 20th century did white flour crepes appear, likely because for the longest time they were very expensive to create. Crepe making has evolved from being cooked on large cast iron hot plates heated over a wood fire in a fireplace to hot plates that are now gas or electric heated. The batter is spread with a tool known as a roselle and flipped with a spatula. In many places of France, crepes are traditionally served with cider. On February 2nd, crepes are offered in France on the holiday known as Fête de la Lumière or Jour des Crepes. Not only do the French eat a lot of crepes on this day, but they also do a bit of fortune telling while making them. It is traditional to hold a coin in your right hand and a crepe pan in the other, and flip the crepe into the air. If you manage to catch the crepe on the pan, your family will be prosperous for the rest of the year. The ingredients that go into making crepes are flour, eggs, milk, butter, and a pinch of salt. And there are two different types of crepes: sweet crepes, which are made with wheat flour and are slightly sweetened, and savory crepes, which are made with buckwheat flour and are unsweetened. The steps that go into making crepes are as follows. You first combine flour, eggs, milk, butter, and salt in a blender and combine for 10 seconds. You then leave the batter to sit in the refrigerator for 1 hour. You then pour a thin liquid batter onto the hot frying pan or a flat circular hot plate, often with a trace of butter or oil on the pan surface. The batter is then spread evenly over the cooking surface of the pan or plate, either by tilting the pan or distributing the batter with an offset spatula. The next dish we will be making is pizza. The word pizza is thought to have come from the Latin word pinza, meaning flatbread, although there is much debate about the origins of the word. Legend suggests that the Roman soldiers gained a taste for Jewish matzah while stationed in Roman-occupied Palestine and developed a similar food after returning home. By the Middle Ages, these early pizzas started to take on a more modern look and taste. The peasantry of the time used what few ingredients they could get their hands on to produce the modern pizza dough and topped it with olive oil and herbs. In 1889, Raphael Esposito created a pizza for the Queen that contained the three colors of the new Italian flag: the red of the tomato, the white of the mozzarella, and fresh green basil. It was a hit with the Queen and the rest of the world. Neapolitans required inexpensive food that could be consumed quickly, so it was originally the food of choice for peasants and lower class and was commonly looked down upon by the upper class. All that changed after 1889, and since then, it made its way to America through immigration and became an icon of the Italian food and culture. The ingredients that go into making pizza are dough, sauce, and cheese. The dough is bleached wheat flour with sugar, soy oil, salt, yeast, and corn syrup solids. The sauce is a tomato puree with sugar, salt, spices, dehydrated garlic, and parsley, and the cheese is either mozzarella or Parmesan.
Next, our group will now make sushi while also telling you the history and cultural significance of the dish itself. The idea of sushi was first mentioned in China around the 2nd century and originally was a way of preserving food. Fish was placed in rice and allowed to ferment, which allowed an individual to keep the fish edible for some time. The rice was thrown away and the fish was eaten when needed or wanted. This method spread throughout China and Asia, and by the 7th century had made its way to Japan, where seafood has historically been a staple. The Japanese, however, took the concept further and began to eat the rice with fish. Originally, the dish was prepared in the same manner, but early in the 17th century, people started seasoning the rice with rice wine vinegar, making sushi. This allowed for the dish to be eaten immediately instead of waiting months for.
Sushi is considered to be an art form because its appearance is just as important as to how it tastes. Chefs from different regions of Japan roll it and arrange it on the plate according to their own styles, and they spend years learning the craft of sushi making. During the 18th century, two distinct styles emerged, the Kansai style from Osaka and the Edo style from Tokyo. The Edo style consists primarily of seasoned rice mixed with other ingredients, and the Kansai style is made with a small bit of seafood on a pat of rice. Most people in the United States are familiar with the Edo style. Sushi can be eaten by hand or using chopsticks, although traditionally it is eaten with the fingers. When eating, be careful to use soy sauce sparingly for not overwhelming the flavor of the fish. At a traditional sushi shop, sushi is prepared before the customer's eyes by cooks, or a combination of sushi is served in a lacquered box.
Since it is considered an art form, there are no set list of ingredients for sushi. Obviously, seaweed and rice are important, but as for what goes inside, you can pick whatever you want. For our roll, we decided to go with an all-vegetable roll using cucumbers, avocados, carrots, and peppers. Sushi is prepared in a very distinct way. You first must roll out the seaweed and sticky rice, usually on a small bamboo mat, but a dish rag will work as well. This helps you get the shape of the roll. As these have been placed and flattened, you can put your choice of toppings on, like seafood and vegetables. Once this is on, you can just roll up your sushi.
The final dish we will be making is grilled cheese.
Some scholars point to the Roman cookbooks that included combining bread and cheese at mealtimes. The precise origin of grilled cheese is rather lost to time. However, scholars speculate that it was in the 1920s that some enterprising mind came up with the idea to not only combine bread with cheese, but also grill it as well. The availability of inexpensive loaves of bread and processed cheese was the catalyst for making the grilled cheese sandwich a staple of the common person's diet in the 1920s. In its earliest form, a grilled cheese sandwich was prepared open-faced with grated American cheese. Eventually, people began closing the sandwich with a second piece of bread, mainly to make the meal a more fulfilling one.
The grilled cheese sandwich was a mainstay during the American Great Depression of the 1930s. Down on their luck, citizens could usually afford an inexpensive grilled cheese, and the meal provided sufficient nutrition to keep them going for a few more hours. During World War II, the grilled cheese sandwich was a favorite of the Allied armed forces, with official cookbooks containing recipes for making these hearty meals. It wasn't long before school cafeterias and housewives were making grilled cheese a regular part of their meal planning. Grilled cheese is found on menus for delis and five-star restaurants alike. Innovators have served it on bagels instead of white bread, experimented with different kinds of cheese, and even added meat to the mix. Grilled cheese is a perennial favorite with children, but it is also a recognized comfort food for adults. Preparing a grilled cheese sandwich with a bowl of tomato soup is a hard comfort food act to follow.
Ingredients: bread, cheese, butter. Preparation: heat in a pan on the stove and add butter. Put slices of cheese in between two pieces of bread. Then place the sandwich in the pan. After it has cooked enough, flip it to the other side and cook it evenly.